Hello, this is Monslayer. Today we're reacting to Red They Desu. I'll react to a different drama after this video, but anyways, I now have a Reddit. You guys didn't know? If you want to support me or give me new videos ideas, you can go on there and just sit on there. Besides Discord. Also, please help like me to grow or try to grow. Anyways, this is all my personal opinions. I don't want people to get angry, and also, please keep the comment respectful. Let's have a good time.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be once again talking about the AI-related debate in the VTubing scene. This has been a very hot topic for several weeks at this point, where a lot of virtue signalers are essentially labeling people as the worst things imaginable for using AI in any capacity whatsoever. At this point, I think it's safe to say we have a serious case of AI derangement syndrome in the VTubing scene. Now, I was going to make a joke based on the acronym for the phrase I just described, but it might be a little too spicy for YouTube. You can work that out for yourselves and figure out what I was saying. But that is really what's going on here. We're going to see some really inevitable and cringe results of the virtue signaling that we've been talking about coming out in full display. But of course, there's been a lot of lightning rods in this controversy, myself included, with my coverage of everything going on, but also individuals like Leaflet, who provided a free-to-use program that helps bridge the divide between PNG tubing and live 2D, essentially giving people the opportunity to get their VTubing career off the ground for free using AI. We also saw how Skew-chan got roped into this because a related clip from her went viral where she reacted to my video and essentially said she doesn't have a major problem with people using AI. She wasn't even endorsing the usage of AI. She was just saying she doesn't have a big deal with it, and any competent and well-established artist is not threatened by the use of AI. But of course, that was enough to get her brigaded and attacked by the usual suspects. And now today, we arrived at the inevitable conclusion of all this virtue signaling, where now we have artists publicly shaming individuals trying to commission them who made the unforgivable sin of using AI-generated references in their commission request.
I'll pause this, but why? I want to say this is when they're like, I see commission artists, I don't make enough money, or I have a hard time looking for clients like that, and they use stuff like this. There's like plenty of examples, all of that. Like, no AI, bro, you got to start somewhere, at least. Expect them to be like perfect. Like, I guess in the previous video, they're making this art on themselves. I mean, they're doing this to themselves. It's not surprising.
Not only are they being denied by these artists for doing so, they're now being publicly shamed in the process. We have really reached the zenith of this controversy. And before we get into the topic of discussion for today, let me give you just a quick rundown of what's been going on the last couple of weeks, because this debate about AI usage in the VTubing scene has involved nothing but virtue signaling and shaming people for the simple concept of using it in any capacity whatsoever. It began by people saying that you're no longer a VTuber if you use AI. I guess stripping someone of their title is what a narcissist like this would think they have the power to do. Then they said using AI makes you a bad person. Then people said using AI at all is a political statement. And then they said using AI is not just a political statement, it makes you a Nazi.
What? No way. Where is them using the word, the Nazi word? At this point, that word has no more meaning to it. It's just meaningless word to be thrown around, and no one really cares about that.
Then they said, if you're using AI, you're destroying the environment and putting people's lives in danger. Then they said using AI makes you look broke.
Bro, you can't do that to your audience. And first of all, colors ruin our environment. We really are ruining our environment. We litter plastic. We drive floors every single day. If we say no, we don't. You're basically lying. Something in your life, someone in your family owns the car. Anyone owns the car, so We say AI is destroying environment. You should tell people to stop driving cars. Gas-powered cars. It makes no sense. You can go to research and see which caused the most damage to the environment. Let me show you some.
Putting people's lives in danger. Then they said using AI makes you look broke, as these people desperately try to farm pennies of ad revenue on Twitter, which of course involves them using this blue badge that they're paying to use on this platform, which of course funds the AI system on Twitter, which is incredibly ironic.
Yes.
And then we get this result. Now the public shaming of people making simple commission requests. So this artist decided to make this incredible call-out post, getting nearly 3 million views and eventually locking the comments as they always do, saying just had to decline a VGen request because the client sent me an AI-generated reference. How hard can it be? As I will clarify a little bit later, this is a very common practice to provide references using AI. I'll give you a peek behind the magician's curtain here. That is very common in the VTubing scene. But this person is now not only denying the commission request, but publicly shaming anyone for doing this unforgivable sin. It all plays back to the question, what is the end goal? What is the end goal for these people virtue signaling about AI usage? Because they're saying if you use AI, I'm not going to accept your commission as an artist. And then what are they going to do next? They're going to use AI. So if you want people to hire real artists, why are you turning down people to virtue signal on Twitter? Isn't that very counterproductive to what you're trying to accomplish? But people are dunking on this individual in the replies, saying this, all this will do is discourage them from hiring artists. Congrats. You did a dum-dum. They probably couldn't afford a reference for a while. Losing clients for no reason is insane. And then they reply with this image right here.
Oh my God.
And then another user says, LOL, this has to be bait. I really hope you don't go complaining about not having money and getting commissions, because now instead of them using a real artist, they will probably just keep using the AI. You only further people not wanting to work with you and others with this mentality.
Basically, you're solving nothing. You hate AI. You hate people when you use AI. You try to stop them to use AI, but you're doing this to them. I'm speechless. They're achieving nothing with this. They're shooting themselves in the foot at this point. For my opinion, artists should stay neutral. Unless they have a very, very, very problematic behavior, and that's no.
Of course, if you look at their accounts, commissions open. It's always commissions open. All of the artists virtue signaling about this stuff, there is a 9 out of 10 chance their commissions are wide open because they can't find people to work with because no one wants to commission them. So this person actually gets someone to commission them and they deny them and publicly shame them to get likes on Twitter, virtue signaling about AI usage. Here's another reply saying it's a effing reference, a reference, with 6,600 likes ratioing the initial post. And this person is entirely correct. It's just a reference.
It's just a reference.
Again, peek behind the magician's curtain here. AI references for art commissions is very common. And I'm not going to make this really personal or anything, but I've worked with plenty of artists where I've provided AI-related references. They accepted those commissions, had no problem with it for years, and now they're joining the bandwagon virtue signaling about AI usage. The irony is incredible, but
it is
very expected for people who care about all this virtue signaling and nonsense. Here's another reply saying that's your problem. Don't complain when you lose customers. You lot are so obsessed with AI. He just wanted to show you his idea to an artist because he doesn't have the skills, which is normal given that he's contacting you. Yeah, isn't that the whole point?
Yeah.
They're turning to an artist because they're not an artist themselves. They have no way to display what they want from you, so they're using AI to give you a reference point. It's a reference. And yet they do this. Here's another reply saying, LOL, and y'all wonder why people are migrating away from you, insufferable people. And then they reply with this SpongeBob gif, very serious individual, but I would ask them, do you have the rights to this SpongeBob image? Do you have the proper rights to be using this? Oh my goodness. But of course, they did the normal thing. They locked the replies, and then they quote themselves, saying, free block list, LOL. Thank you for the 2,000 plus people who believe AI has no place in VTubing. Using a commission piece in AI to generate ideas is never okay. There are tons of ways to get references that don't involve AI. Yeah, I guess hiring an artist to make you a reference so then you can turn to another artist and use that previous reference to get new art. Yeah.
This makes no sense now. You're losing all base. You're not gonna grow as an artist. Not people know you as the type that want to be it.
Very simple. But this person acts like getting likes on Twitter means you're right, which would mean they're wrong under that logic because they were getting ratioed by so many people to the point of having to lock their replies. But no, you're getting likes from a bunch of activists and virtue signalers. It means nothing. They're hollow. The support means nothing. There's a reason your commissions are still open. It's because ultimately the customers don't really care for your mentality and feel slighted, or they feel hesitant to even want to commission you in the first place because you might publicly call them out over wrongthink while rejecting them. But of course, this is really the most simple way to respond to all of this. You people are so pathetic. Because all of this is so pathetic.
Yeah, it is.
How much these people hate AI is insane. They hate it more than anything else. I'm genuinely convinced that they hate AI usage more than criminals at this point. I mean, like, tell me if I'm wrong at this point. But let's look at some more virtue signaling posts relating to this topic. Another individual saying, the absolute bliss I feel every time I block a VTuber who thinks using generative AI is in any way justified. AI sloppers named Sir Dumbf, the Dragon Lord, will come here using nothing but slurs to make a point and think I'm not gonna point and laugh, giving me free dopamine when I reply bleh and block you. Ooh, shiver me timbers. This person is quite the tough customer over here. Wow. Look out for this individual. They might say bleh and then block you and get some free dopamine. I'm sorry, if you're getting free dopamine from blocking people on Twitter, seek help. But also, what is this? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Do you really feel that strongly about all this? Like, are you going to have the same attitude for, like, a grandma using AI to make, like, a cat meme or something? But
these owners are willingly digging up their own graves, making deeper and deeper as I go. And when they realize, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that, these type of artists, all they do on there is saying they're not trying to improve. They're not trying to, lower the prices. I see some artists lower the prices. You can't stop AI.
The thing is, too, great name. Sir Dumbf, the Dragon Lord? If someone hasn't taken that name already, please go ahead and do so. And also, you haven't blocked me yet, so feel free to do that. Give yourself a little dopamine rush. Feel good about blocking people on social media. I'm right here waiting for you. Totally good. Go for it. I know it'll help you out. I'm feeling charitable today. I want to give you some dopamine, so go ahead and do that. But here's some more from this individual saying, my fellow VTubers, please don't use generative AI for your content creation. They're speaking like it's a presidential address or something, like you're an artist. Chill out. I will never stop preaching this. Artists are the backbone of the VTubing sphere. If you respect your artists who drew and or rigged your model, then refrain from using AI slop for your other content. There are so many artists on VGen who fit to any type of budget, and if you don't have anything to spend, then there are also so many wonderful free resources and assets created by hardworking artists for you. Respect your artists and stop using AI that gets fed with stolen art. It's funny how they always say, go find free resources, but not like that when they turn to something like Leaflet's program, right? They don't mean just use whatever free resources you can. It's only the approved ones that fit their narrative. But ultimately...
Yeah, I'm gonna pause a lot during this video. I had to say it. Artists are not the backbone of VTubing. I know. I'm gonna get much hate for it, but I'm gonna say it. Here's an example of race cars, right? Which is the backbone of that? The race cars or the worst? If you answer the race cars, then you're wrong. Because how in the world a race car can function without like people working behind it? It's the same logic goes against VTubing. If there's no person behind the model, that model has no personality or ability to train people. Just a art on a digital computer. I said this on my YouTube channel. Models attract and personality folks, because you can have a great model all you want, but if you have the worst personality, no one's gonna support you.
Ultimately, if you go to this user's account and you start searching through the following list, you see a lot of names, including VTubers have no issue with using AI whatsoever, but of course, you get the inevitable follow, which is Veetle. Yeah, that was a big topic of conversation with the Leaflet arc of all this, where she is criticizing people who are virtue signaling about AI usage but still support Neurosima, and they try to convince you every which way that it's completely different. But these people, they don't stand on their morals. They follow people who use AI or have it as a part of their content. And, well, is that really surprising? But here's Madam Savvy with a reply to this artist saying, does this really work for you? I'm a career artist and seeing this constantly is annoying. Just draw. Just go hire people. You don't need a virtue signal daily. The people who are going to hire artists are going to keep doing it. The people who look for alternatives were always going to do it.
Yeah.
But it really does feel like you type just use artists as goodwill points. Instead of bitching about AI, why don't you make promotion posts about other artists? But you mentioned you care about engagement with the blue check. Of course you do. You're a business. And you know, posts promoting artists never get the same kind of attention as posts like this. And that is a very good point.
Yeah.
All of these people who condemn AI and say support real artists, they never make an actual effort to promote real artists. All they do is shame people for using AI. They don't actually provide a solution or anything that helps their supposed cause. It's all about shaming. It's all about clout farming. And again, blue check mark every single time. You're literally paying Twitter for that badge so you can farm ad revenue through your tweets, through engagement. And you're funding AI. You're funding Grok, which creates generative AI. If you stood on your principles, you would not pay for this blue check mark. You would not give Elon Musk and this platform your money every month if this is truly how you feel. But of course, let's get one more, just showing the pathetic nature of this entire situation. This artist says, stop using AI for your games and art. Hire real artists. Yep, just like that, AI was completely defeated and all the artists have been supported. Now, of course, they got a lot of backlash, and what did they do? Oh, they locked the replies, as you can see. But one of their mutuals said, whoa, you made a hit tweets. And then they replied, with the replies locked, saying, the AI supporter's trying to attack me, Pookie. Which is hilarious. First of all, look at the discrepancy in the number of likes. 16 replying to a response on their own tweet. The initial one getting 8,800. 8,800 versus 16. And isn't this rich? This person picks a fight and then immediately becomes the victim of their own situation that they created, saying they're being attacked. You threw the first punch. Buddy. Now you're crying and locking the replies because people are responding and dunking on you. Many such cases, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, there's a real case of AI derangement syndrome going on in the VTubing scene. And if you don't like AI, that's fine. But this level of just nauseating virtue signaling and often very hypocritical virtue signaling is something that should be mocked, something that should be talked about, and I have absolutely no qualms about doing so, right? That's why we're here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing.
Oh, this video is worth a share? But I'll say this. Artists need to stop complaining and start doing stuff. I hope people learn and try to do something better than picking fights that they can't defend. Like, you can come up with something outrageous. And if you can't defend that argument, what's the point? When you tweet things, you got to have a full expectation of people's disagreeing, and if you don't expect that, and then you expect people to agree with you, then you're in a whole lot of world of realism, because there are people that would disagree. Anyways, that's all I have to say, because I don't know how to put anything into words. I know what you guys would say in the comments, so bye.
The world outside is painted white, a silent hush of fading light. Winter's breath upon the pane, whispers of a coming rain or snow, depending on mood. Long shadows stretch the day.